tuning in to K-Bell TV. Today we are going to be getting juicy. And today I'm going to be making an apple lemon ginger juice. I'm going to start with a clean sink. I always like to start with a clean sink. And the cleaner that I'm using is Anti-Bac by Method. I picked it up from Target. And yeah, I just always like to start with a clean sink because I'm going to be resting my fruits in there as I clean them off and as they're getting ready to be sliced and juiced. And we're going to start off our juice with some fresh, red, delicious apples. So I'm just sitting the apples into the sink because I'm going to be using my veggie wash to clean off my apples. So usually I'll use a homemade veggie wash, but this time I purchased some veggie wash from the grocery store, so I'm going to be using it. And next up is our lemon and ginger. Now I'm not going to be washing these off simply because I'm going to be peeling both the lemon and the ginger, so there's really no need for me to wash the outside skin or peel. My juicer that I'm going to be using is the Omega Cube Nutrition System Juicer. You can even juice wheatgrass with this juicer, and it's a slow masticating juicer, which is what I personally prefer to use because I've done the research on cold press juicers versus slow masticating, and I figured that the slow masticating juicer is the route that I wanted to go based on my nutrition needs. Two important kitchen tools you want to have while making juice: a cutting board and a sharp knife. We're going to start by slicing all of the apples up into thin slices. Now that all of my apples are sliced up, I'm going to move on to the next fruit that we're going to be using for our juice. And even though organic fruit is the most healthiest or safest fruit, usually when I buy fruits or vegetables that I'm going to be using with the skin, I'll buy organic. But lemons and things that I tend to peel, I usually don't buy them organic because my thinking is that all the toxins are going to be in the peel, which is coming off anyway. And what I'm showing you here is how the new way I started to peel my lemons and my oranges, all of my citrus fruits, when I juice them. It's so much easier than the way I used to just cut them in fours and then hand peel them. That tended to get messy. So this is how I like to peel my citrus fruits now. And as you can see, I kind of peel them like you do a watermelon. I just cut the tops off and then cut the side peel off. And I'm going to store those peels into the pulp tray until I take them to the trash can, just to get them out of the way of all my cut fruit. So pay attention to how I'm cutting these lemons. See, I remove the tops and then I just kind of peel with my knife, using my knife. You don't need a peeling knife. I peel the sides off with my knife, and it doesn't matter how much of the peel, if you leave a little bit of the peel on there, it's just gonna run through the juicer and go into the pulp tray anyway. Now I'm just taking those lemon peels to the trash can, and when I come back, I'm going to begin to slice and peel and slice my ginger. So with my ginger root, I do use a peeling knife because it cuts the skin a little bit finer, and the skin on the ginger root is a little bit thinner than the peel on the lemon. So I do need a peeling knife to skin my ginger. Also, I wanted to mention that in my experience, it's important that you get fresh ginger root. Make sure that you're picking fresh ginger root, because sometimes I find that in the grocery stores, sometimes you run across a bad piece of ginger root. It doesn't taste fresh, or it's kind of sour, and it's kind of tricky to pick it out. I find that I don't go for the ginger roots if I break a piece off in the store that has like a purple line going down the middle of the piece of ginger root. The freshest ginger root to me are the ginger root that when you break off a little teeny piece in the store, you can see that the inside of the ginger root is like a yellow or a white color without any purple lines inside. All right, now those apples are sliced, the lemons are peeled, and the ginger root is peeled and cut, and we are officially ready to juice. So some people may, cut an apple here and there, cut a piece of lemon as they're juicing, but me, I tend to like to have everything cut up and ready to insert into my juicer. So as you can see, as my fruit is going in, the juice is coming out. But not only the juice, there's also a section where the dry pulp comes out. There are also many uses for this pulp that comes out of the juicer while you're juicing. You can find them on Pinterest, or you can Google them, the benefits or the uses for pulp, juicer pulp. They make a lot of great things. You can use them in baking, you can freeze them. I've froze them before, and you can also add the pulp to your smoothies. The pulp is full of fiber and nutrients as well. So if you're not a wasteful person, which I'm not, I love to utilize every little bit of what I purchase. So if you're not very wasteful and you want to get some good use out of that pulp, look up some of the benefits of juice pulp.
Do want to point out is you don't want to
in the essence of saving time or because you get frustrated. You don't want to force pieces that are too big into your juicer. And this usually happens with things like carrots or, you know, the harder vegetables. But you don't want to force anything into there that's going to get caught up in the grinder. I guess that's the name of the part. But it can get caught in there, and then you're stuck with trying to take your machine apart and dig those big chunks out. So just to avoid that, over time I've learned, just take the time and cut your fruit and vegetables into little small pieces. It's much more worth it, and believe me, with an investment like this, the last thing you want to do is break it up, okay? Tune into the two ways that I store my juices. This was my tried and true. I always use glass because, as we know, well, as we should know, glass is better for storing your foods. It preserves everything better, and it doesn't have the chemicals that plastic may sometimes have. But my husband, you know, he likes to drink his juices on the go, so this fits better into the cup holder in your car. And this freezes and unthaws so perfectly that I just started getting these, and actually I've started to love them too, because I can also take these with me to the gym or wherever I go just for a quick drink of juice. So I wanted to show you the most ideal way to store your juices are in a glass jar, but you know, we're human. We like what we like. This is how I'm going to store my juices today. And another trick that I like to do is I don't like to waste not one drip of my juice. So sometimes I will pour it into a big bowl. And the big bowl has a little spout on it, which makes it easier for pouring. I'm going to go ahead and put this camera down as I transfer my juice into my bottles. But I just wasted a drop. That just makes me mad right there. Okay, so I'm going to put this camera down and transfer my juice. Also, another tip, whether you're storing in glass or plastic, is to pour your juice all the way to the top, because you don't want the air to hit it. The less air that's in your bottle, the better, the more nutrients it holds. And of course, you want to drink it in a timely manner, unless you're freezing it. All right, so that's one bottle. I'm gonna go ahead and store that in the refrigerator. So my next batch of juice, I'm gonna go ahead and fill up the rest of this bottle. to run it back through the juicer. Let's do that and see if any drips come out. Any drips of juice. See that? A little bit. But I've had juicers in the past where this output, this pulp, was really, really soggy. This pulp is dry. this juice into my bowl because I tend to pour better when I'm pouring from this bowl. And then there's also some additional drops that are going to fall here and there. Sometimes place a little cup up under here because I don't like to waste a drop. So that was 8 apples, 3 lemons, and 1 medium-sized piece of ginger root, which made 48 ounces of juice. That's 3 16-ounce jugs of juice. So now let's get into the benefits of drinking an apple lemon ginger juice. When drank daily, it flushes out toxins and boosts immunity. Apple alone has calcium, iron, potassium, and both vitamins C and E. Lemon and ginger reduces whole body inflammation, calms digestive issues, cleanses the colon, and supports liver function. That lemon alone is going to have vitamin C, improve skin quality, and support weight loss. In addition, that ginger is going to decrease any nausea, help joint pain and stiffness, reduce hunger, and increase fat burning. Now, the one thing you want to remember about fresh juicing is that sometimes the juice lacks fiber because the fiber is coming out in the pulp. So sometimes you may want to just sprinkle a little bit of the pulp back into your juices for that extra fiber. And there you have it, a powerhouse drink that is going to be chock full of vitamins and health benefits. Thank y'all for tuning in to K-Bell TV. I will see you next time. Drink your juice.